Have you ever wondered how secure your job really is? In today's fast-changing economy, layoffs can happen suddenly, and industries are shifting faster than ever. But here's the good news. You can take control of your career security. In this video, we'll break down how to assess your job security, determine whether you work in a profit center or a department that generates revenue for your company, or if you do not and you actually work in more of a support function like HR or IT, and relate why it's important to know this. Plus, I'll give you some specific action steps to help you stay ahead of the game. So let's dive in. First, let's look at some big trends that are shaping the market right now. So some industries like tech, finance, media, and even the federal government have seen layoffs recently due to economic slowdown or political change. Others like healthcare, renewable energy, and cybersecurity are growing because of long-term demand. How do you know if your company or if your role is at risk? The truth is that there may not be an easy way to know this. However, one thing that you can start doing right away is to take careful observation of your surroundings, be it at your company or within your industry at large. Usually, there are signs that point to trends that are important to know. So being able to observe these different signs will inform the kind of preparation you might need to do later on. There isn't one specific rule that applies to every situation. Looking at the workplace and deciding if a layoff is going to be happening. However, a great place to start would be to consider these three questions. Number one, is my company financially stable? To figure this out, you can check the earnings reports of your company. You can scan the news for any recent layoff rumors or news within your industry and with competitors to your organization, and even listen to podcasts out there that are aligned with your industry that talk about trends too. Figure out if your role is essential to the company's success. So in many cases, this relates to whether your job is linked to generating revenue for the company. You have to ask yourself, if budgets are shrinking, will my position survive any cuts? Number three, have there been any early warning signs of layoffs? So things like hiring freezes, budget cuts, or even leadership restructuring can signal some red flags. Now, if you work in a profit center, your job security is tied to how well your team generates revenue. Green flags or good signs include strong sales numbers and new deals closing, the expansion of teams and new hires coming on board, as well as leadership investing in product upgrades. Some red flags, however, might include clients that are leaving or contracts that are not being renewed. Sales targets might be missed repeatedly. And also budget freezes or hiring slowdowns. So you might wonder, what can you do in these situations? Easily, you can talk to your manager about what's going on. Talk about the growth and goals of the company. You can also stay informed on your company's financial health by checking the news, earning reports, attending town hall meetings, and such. Also, you want to continue the excellent work that you're doing and strengthen client relationships. Being a key player in revenue generation, if this applies to you, makes you harder to replace. Now, if you work in a center that is not profit generated like HR, finance, or IT, your job security is tied to cost efficiency in most cases. So here are some signs to look for. In terms of green flags, if your function is critical to operations, this could be a good sign. So as far as red flags, any budget cuts in your department, the leadership talking about efficiency, improvements, this often means that downsizing or outsourcing is to come. If you are in a nonprofit center, again, before you take action, you have to have an idea of where you stand. So take notes on what's happening around you. You also, if possible, want to cross-train in revenue-related skills to make yourself valuable. Whether if you work in a profit center or a non-profit center, the key to job security is staying proactive. So as far as your next steps, assess your company's financial health. Is it growing or shrinking? Identify your role's stability. Ask yourself, are you essential to operations or revenue? Lastly, start positioning yourself as indispensable. And this might include focusing on the work or skills that are absolutely critical to the company's operation and success, or taking the time to highlight the work that you've done to show your value. Have you found yourself wondering if your job is secure? What things have you observed to help you understand where you stand? I'd love to hear more about it. Feel free to comment below or send me a DM.